Alright, homies, today we got a skrunkly episode, and by skrunkly I mean I took way too long deciding what I was going to actually do for the episode, and then I ended up picking an art project that really isn't my strong suit at all.
Landscapes!
And I have approximately 3 hours to record my voice and edit before I go watch children and make sure they don't injure themselves whilst putting stickers on little picture frames. So let's get going. As gathered from ye olde thumbnail, this is a campaign book video, and I'm drawing some landscapes of one of the cities. Actually, not really a city, it's Doan Keep. Now, disclaimer, I can't really remember if Doan Keep is something I came up with or something that someone else came up with during questing, and unfortunately, the person who shall not be named, who I think I should credit the name idea to, had a bad habit of stealing ideas from other authors and games, so if anyone recognizes a name, please let me know. I will be happy to change it. Otherwise, even though I don't love the name, it remains Doan Keep for the time being, so I don't have to go back and change the name on the continent map that I made. It's really somewhere between a city and a monastery. I'm thinking a place kind of like Kaer Morhen from the Witcher franchise. It lies on the edge of neutral territory in the Femoris Mountains, very close to the kingdom of Karados, a kingdom birthed out of and closely allied with the Exenir Empire under Empress Modrive Tetserbe's rule. Now that you heard a bunch of words, let's talk about Doan Keep. Doan Keep sort of has the same energy as if you had a 2-hour layover for a connecting flight and you're waiting in an airport that isn't really your destination, but also it's kind of cool to see touristy stuff and people from everywhere, and the shops have like the essence of the country or city that you're in, but also is a weird mix of things. Like, you go to the McDonald's and order what you would normally order, but the sauces you're given are different, or the spices just don't seem quite exactly what you expect. Yeah, that's what Doan Keep is. But with like monks that are training everywhere. I hope that makes sense. I put in these large crane/pulley things in, and I thought I was going to put more, but I never did. It's sort of the beginning of me not sticking to one particular style when working on the architecture of Doan Keep. Half of it is the fact that I didn't have a very strong vision going in when initially designing, and the other half is me covering up my lack of design planning with the excuse that Doan Keep would have many travelers that stop and end up staying there long term, and the buildings and structures would reflect things from all sorts of different societies: dwarven, elven, desert people, mountain people, etc. But at the same time, the design would be united by the limitation of building materials and craftsmanship that is available up in the mountains. I seem to have a habit of making cities that are sort of culturally neutral zones in the way that there isn't just one culture that sticks out. I often make cities that many adventurers frequent or many merchants pass through just because having to remember, oh, this race of characters stands out in this sort of environment, just has always been very difficult for me. I know it creates character conflicts and gives an opportunity for you to stand out, and like in day-to-day, if you saw Dragonborn walking about in real life, you'd be like, what the heck is going on? But I don't know, I think maybe if I were a better DM, I would be able to remember these sorts of things or incorporate crowd reaction a little better, but I've DM'd a grand total of like 7 sessions in my lifetime. I have a lot to learn yet. Back to the drawing, let me talk about the foliage. Deciding to go with sort of a lush, mossy, wet environment instead of a snowy one really saved me. It ends up being my go-to for filling blank space or dealing with perspective and dimension that I didn't feel like using brain cells on, because I really needed all of my brain cells in order to be present during watching little kids every evening. Yes, in my infinite wisdom and my history of definitely getting along with and liking small children, I decided that I, an introvert, do not get out of the house enough and do not do enough for my community. So, I volunteered to help kids with crafts for like a week-long event at a church in a neighboring town, and let me tell you, I'm exhausted. Every day I spend with a child is another year that I definitely do not wish to commit myself to the process that is childbirth and or child raising. I already had a baseline of several years that I did not want kids, and by tonight, that will be raised to 12 years. Fear not, mother and mother-in-law. 12 years from now, you will neither be dead, nor will I be too far out of my prime, as the people say. Have I scared you away yet with my discussions of the absolute blessing that is having children? If I haven't scared you away, please stick around while I beg my brain for the luxury of staying on topic. A lot of the middle of this is me pushing through fatigue that has built up over the course of the last 4 days, and genuinely just seeing what I can mess with in order to make this look reasonable. As previously said, I don't draw landscapes often at all. I would love to get better at landscapes, but boy howdy was this not the week to be doing that. At one point, I stopped recording to go look at references for inspiration and ended up falling asleep at my desk, which I thought was for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and was later informed by my husband dearest that it was much closer to 15 to 20 minutes. Moral of the story is just go to sleep. You won't do a good job or work efficiently if you don't sleep. And I'm an absolute hypocrite for telling you to sleep because I don't think I slept more than 5 hours a night during college, and I did not do my best in college. But I have a degree that I'm currently not using, but I have it. I've had a heckin' week, and I am doing nothing but complaining about it. It's genuinely a wonderful opportunity to go out, do something good, just out of sheer wanting to do good. And if that's painting flower pots or putting stickers on books with little kiddos, then so be it. And sorry that a lot of this video is me talking about my week. I hope you don't mind me venting a little to the internet. You have all been very kind, leaving comments on my videos, encouraging me to make more, which is why I'm not taking a break this week. And I know I'm not a big channel with thousands of views, but I've only made 6 videos. Do I already need a break? No can do. Just genuinely, as always, I enjoy the feedback and closeness that I can have with people this early on in my channel. A lot of you said things like, "Can't wait for you to become big," and "I'm so excited to be here where it all begins," and I'm just thriving off of the concept that I can do things that inspire people. Sure, I'm stressed about life, I procrastinate way too much, and I get overwhelmed, but I am just so thrilled by the idea that people are out there watching my videos weekly, or even if it was only the one video. I hope I get more content. Maybe start posting more often, some variety. I have some games that I want to play with other people, collaborations that are already underway. Again, if I can get over my fear of being on camera for a 30-minute video, I have even more content ideas. I'm just incredibly excited for it all, and I hope you are all just as excited for it. There's nothing that would make me happier than making all of you happy. So, in order to feel fulfilled and to keep myself on track, I do not wish to take a break even amidst this hellish week. These last few minutes are actually about an hour and a half of work where I really get down to it. I work on the bell, getting shading in the buildings right, start going in and filling empty spaces, and I really think that helps it come to life and look a little more cohesive. As always, there is no process, I just go at it. I think I'm going to try and practice landscapes a lot more, and I have a lot of cities to go through on the continent of Vasseldal anyways. I should have said this at the beginning, but I started with no sketching and it was just big blocks of color until I was like, hold on, there's no way I can do the buildings without sketching something out. But I do want to try to lean out of having to do sketches, maybe even for character design, and instead working in big blocks of color because it helps you see like scene balance really well and design elements on a large scale and how the colors will blend and match, and you don't get so bogged down working on tiny details, which might get covered up anyways. And I would like to start stepping out of sketching, but it will be a slow process, and maybe you'll be here to witness it. Who knows? Not me. Back to Doe and Keep, there's a very important NPC who trained there. I have no idea if my players will ever meet this NPC. I might draw him sometime though for the channel. I was going to this week, but it felt a little too difficult. So instead I decided to draw landscapes instead. No, I won't name this NPC just yet, just to keep things secret, just in case. He's a pretty high-level NPC. He's a blind monk. I know, cliche, but it's cool, okay? He dual wields blades, and he's multi-classed with something else that I shall keep a fun and fancy secret. Yeah, he trained at Doan Keep, and he's currently not there, but he would make a very cool ally. Maybe. Depends what route the players decide to go on or create for themselves. I'm super excited for this campaign, can you tell? If I have no copyright issues, and I was told it should be okay, but I definitely want to do my own research, and I have a lot of balancing work for like monsters or backgrounds or subclasses that I might want to incorporate, but I thought it would be super cool to turn this campaign into an actual book. Since I'm actually making a book and making art for the book, I might as well have something to show for it. Just as like a supplement for 5th edition. But also, even if I print like one book for myself and just put it on the shelf where all my other many D&D books are, that would be pretty sweet. No, but seriously, if people are interested, even if it takes years, perhaps Kickstarter or Patreon? That would be very cool. Dude, I can't even keep to one topic, even if I have like a list or script going. It's all just train of thought. I don't even know why I bother writing out scripts or bullet points of talking topics, because at this point, I'm just saying whatever I think of and talking over a video of me making art, because I have no tips, I have no process, it's just art, baby. Oh, but here's where I start writing runes all over the place. Fake made-up runes, of course. But my thought process is that part of the reason Doan Keep and the Famorous Mountains are able to remain neutral territory is because of these intricate runes that are all around. The runes probably get activated during war times, and I imagine a lot of the runes are like shielding, protection, abjuration runes, but maybe there are some evocation runes. That's something that I will need to flesh out. But early on in the city's formation, when it was just a small but diverse collection of people, all these runes were scribed around the fortress and on buildings, and are probably kept up with and carefully examined daily to make sure that it's always there protecting the city. Just a few last-minute details, filling blank space with plants and windows and such, and working on the lighting a little bit more, and of course, color adjustment. Oh, and a secret signature, and it's complete. There's Doan Keep in all its glory. I think a very epic site for adventurers to stumble upon. And if you like to keep seeing things like this, like, comment, subscribe. Don't hit the bell. Honestly, I hate notifications. They bug me. I always have to make sure the little red dot on the corner of the apps is gone, or I feel unsettled. But yeah, art stuff. Hopefully next week I can come back to you with a longer video, feeling more refreshed. Hopefully. But who knows? Not me.